So this is the raw reality of running a rent-to-rent business. Now I've been doing this since 2016 till 2025. I've done service accommodation, I've done social housing. Right now, with God's blessing intention, inshallah, by next year I'll break into support living if it's meant to be. Now, currently, right now, I'm owed about £20,000 in outstanding payments that should have been paid to me at the end of February. Now, this is the reality of the business. Now, I'm not just a fancy dancy. I watched a course on YouTube and took on one rent to rent. No, before I ever took on a property, I started with this business with my mum in 2016. I took on my first property in 2021. That was a one bedroom in Canary Wharf, kind of what we call creme de la creme in the rent to rent space. Canary Wharf, one bedroom, high rise apartment. Yeah, it was first floor, it wasn't high rise. Anyway, besides the point, that was when I was running what people call Airbnb. That was a roller coaster, and that's a roller coaster you prepare yourself for. I partnered up with my second property with a friend. The rent for that property was 3 grand. The first booking we got was 10 grand. So there is big money to be made in rent to rent, no doubt. Now, I decided to slowly myself transition out of acquiring more Airbnbs or service accommodation units because I didn't really like the roller coaster of the ups and downs. The next month for that property, it was vacant the whole month. And what's the point in getting 6K, 7K one month, then losing 3K the next month? It's not very good for your mental health and your planning of your business and planning for your life. This is where I kind of came into what we call social housing, which is essentially, to make it simply, it's service accommodation with the government. The government gives you a client or a service user, whatever you have it, you provide accommodation, they pay you. Now, if you're in business with the government, you'll know government money is great because, it always comes. Does it always come on time? No. Now, as I've said across my marketing channels, I say, oh, 5 figures a month, 10K per month. I've surpassed that in passive income, and when I'm active, I usually make that in active income. Now, what happened, or what's happening, this is raw reality, is that the market has got a bit difficult in 2025. Definitely the rates we can achieve has gone down a little bit. So I decided to go on a quantity-based method. Now, I don't know what the actual particular reason. I believe it's an admin thing, a financial thing from what I've been told. The money is due to come, but money I was expecting at the end of February was delayed for 30 days. Now, when you want to take this rent to rent to the next level, it's not a rent to rent anymore. It's now what you call guaranteed rent business. Now, I've got 10 plus landlords, 30 plus properties, and rents in the region of 30 to £50,000. And one of my major clients did not pay, or they've delayed it for 30 days. What does that mean? It means from all of the money that I would have came in and would have been the profit for the business, to pay staff, pay myself, pay my costs, didn't come in. It didn't come in. And what did I have to do? It means I had to cover every single rent from the income I had and some into my pocket. And that made it worse in that I was traveling. So I wasn't really active in my income. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take some time out. I'm going to connect with my religion. I'm going to connect with my business and come back stronger. So I wasn't active. And to be frank, it's not cheap to fly. I was spending a lot of money thinking that at the end of the month I would have been recouped, ready to go for the next month. That's not what happened. I was delayed. My payments are still delayed. 30 days is what I'm waiting. And that, to make it worse, that's the government. The government, at least, they're going to pay. It's government backed. So the government are paying late. You can imagine what my normal clients, and one of my clients, he said, oh, I've got a cancellation, and he decided he's not going to pay. That was 2,250. I had to pay that out of pocket. We eventually did come to an agreement, but that deal now pays me no money, no margin. I'm covering it. It's basically a free deal. I've got another client. We passed on a property. The rent is £2,000. Till this day, they haven't paid, and I had to cover that to my pocket, to the landlord. And I wasn't making a margin on that deal. We collected a one-time sourcing fee. The rent is 2 grand. They haven't paid the rent. It's 2 weeks overdue. I've paid that out my pocket to the landlord. So can you imagine, in this business, rent to rent, or even myself, a lot of people don't talk about these things. I'm making 5 figures per month. But what happens when that money's delayed? What happens when that money's late? What happens when you get money and the bank reviews your payments? What happens when your Stripe account gets flagged for review and they hold 25% of all incoming payments? That's the raw reality of running a business. Is there a hook for this? Is there I say deal sourcing is simpler and easier. You don't have these things, which is why I always tell people this. Like, I don't go this deep into why I don't recommend it as a beginner's business strategy, but this is the reality of it. And this is, remember, this is not an Airbnb. It's not like, oh, this is government money, government money that's meant to come. These are professional. These aren't newbies. One of them I don't know, but one of the other clients professional. They've got an office, and still you run into the risk of passing people properties for whatever, government, corporate, private. You don't get the money sometimes, but to be true to your word, guaranteed. I look at guaranteed as GTD, get things done. That's who I am. So even if I'm not receiving the money, even if I haven't been paid, even if people have broken their promises to me, I've made sure I've guaranteed everybody who's got their payment gets their payment. And that leaves me in a vulnerable situation where, I'm in a few five figures in deficit. I currently don't have a lot of personal money to spend. And yeah, we're just rocking that boat. So that's the raw reality. I was committed to making a video every single month. Not if it's going to be flashy. It's the reality. I'm 20 grand down. Everyone's paid except for me. But hey, it's what happens when you say the man is going to guarantee it. So inshallah, God willing, there's a reason for this. And that's the reality. Thank you for watching.